3 Pepperdine athletes have a chance to play in the pros after their final year, but for some of them, the changes in the 2021 season are putting their dreams in jeopardy. A full year of delayed and canceled competitions due to COVID has some of Pepperdine's top athletes struggling to get to the pros.
I think last year I had a lot of stuff lined up. I was doing super well, and people kind of knew who I was. And now, unfortunately, like the way things have gone, I'm going to be kind of on my own.
Across many sports, Pepperdine Athletics boasts some of the most decorated athletes in the West Coast Conference and the NCAA. Ashley Leahy is a 3-time All-American and was ITA Player of the Year in 2020. She says her inability to practice during the shutdown got her out of her groove, and now it'll be more difficult for her to find outside help as a professional.
It just depends on how you're doing, how many resources you have available to start like hiring your own team. Like you don't get signed onto a team, you create your team.
When the start of the pandemic canceled most of baseball's spring 2020 season, redshirt junior pitcher Cooper Chandler decided he needed more time to showcase his skills. He chose to come back to improve his draft stock, even though he garnered interest from MLB clubs after last season.
I actually got a couple calls in the 5 rounds, like 2 or 3 calls from teams. Nothing I thought was worth taking, especially I was going into my senior year.
Chandler's in a similar situation of Pepperdine's pitching ace last season, Will Jensen. Jensen was a projected early round pick before the shutdown, but he went undrafted. Now that the MLB has increased the total number of rounds from 5 to 20, Chandler feels it will help him be selected this summer.
Like all things aside, money and like what round I'm getting drafted, honestly, I just want the opportunity to play at the next level. I mean, that's been my dream since I was a kid.
For Pepperdine soccer senior midfielder Joelle Anderson, she was expected to be drafted in early 2022. The shutdown allowed her to be eligible for this year's draft. COVID-19 didn't hurt her draft process, it just sped things up.
Got drafted literally like knowing 3 days prior that the whole process was starting. So yeah, I really just was not expecting it at all.
Anderson was a 3rd-round pick in January, but unlike other draftees, chose to return to school for 1 more year.
I could have gone this year if I wanted to. My time here like really isn't finished yet. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish here.
If Chandler gets back to 100%, he could be selected in the shortened MLB draft. Leahy will travel and play in any tournament she can after this season. And for Anderson, she'll report to the Houston Dash to start training in early 2022.